Hey everybody, I'm sure you guys all know about the North Korea bomb threats that's going on. Today I was kind of explaining it to David because he hadn't really heard about it, and I was just kind of telling him about what was going on, and I was reading him like news articles and stuff. And tonight we were doing devotions, and he didn't really know what to read, and so he kind of just flipped open to a book, and he kind of wanted to explain what he got out of it to you.
Okay, so tonight I didn't really know where I wanted to read for my devotion, so I just flipped open to the book of Amos and started in the first chapter, and it starts off talking about how God's going to punish the Israel's neighbors, the nations that are surrounding Israel. And whenever I do devotions, I always relate it to my life and how it can be positive to me, and how I can use it. And so it kind of just like reminded me of this whole bomb threat situation, and I'd never really thought about it. And I think God gives us a lot of warnings in the Bible and talks about the end times, and so this is just my interpretation of what I read tonight. And it starts out, and it's saying every time it talks about a different nation around Israel, it says the people of Damascus have sinned again and again, and I will not let them go unpunished. And it says that about everyone, about Gaza, and in chapter 2 it says it about Moab, and then it says it about Judah and about Israel also, how the people of that nation have sinned again and again, and I will not let them go unpunished. And it makes me relate to today's world, and how United States is growing so much further away from God, and all these different laws taking God out of this and taking God out of that and taking God out of public schools. And how is God getting our attention? Like this whole thing with North Korea, maybe God's trying to get our attention. I mean, have you ever really sat down and thought about that? And another thing is that in each one of these paragraphs where he talks about the different nations, he describes how he destroys the city with fire. And that just makes me think of how they're sending over, I think it is like a nuclear bomb or something that can destroy like 19 states, and which would destroy us by fire. And it's like so relevant, because here he's talking about how people have sinned again and again, and they don't go towards God, and God says, I'll not let them go unpunished. And so he destroys them with fire. And it's just like today, there's so much evil in the world, and God's getting taken out of this, and God's getting taken out of that, and we're not including God in anything anymore. Is God trying to get our attention? I mean, that's just how it spoke to me. And one other verse that spoke out to me was Amos 3, verse 10 through 11. And it says, my people have forgotten how to do right, says the Lord. Their fortresses are filled with wealth taken by theft and violence. Therefore, says the sovereign Lord, an enemy is coming. He will surround them and shatter their defenses, then he will plunder all their fortresses. This just makes me think, like, this is such a big warning. Like, we keep going further away from God, and I think God's sending us a warning sign. We need to go back towards him. So as you hear more information about this bomb threat, just double take and rethink like what the warnings God gives us in the Bible, and just how important they are and how they can relate to today. So so throughout day to day, just try to include God more. I think that when we exclude him, things just get worse. So when we include him, things will get better. So I just thought that was cool how I read it, and then it related to the North Korea bomb threat, and I just felt the need to share that. And so big thanks to Tori for explaining to me the North Korea bomb threat today.
You're welcome.
And hope you guys got something out of this, and hope that you guys have a great rest of the week, and stay safe and don't get blown up. Bye.